Hi Virgo, welcome to your love reading for January 2020. Let's go ahead and see what is coming up in your love life. This is a love reading for the sign of Virgo for January 2020. The first card you have, Virgo, is the Four of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Five of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Nine of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Strength. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Knight of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Eight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. Eight of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. The Tower. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for January. And the Two of Wands. What's the most important thing that Virgo needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? The message that you have, Virgo, is the Queen of Cups. So this would be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It can represent somebody new that you're meeting. It could be your partner. It can also be someone who's very significant to your love life in January. So we'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and start at the top. And if you would like a private reading with me, I'll put a link down below to my website, channelguidance.com. So it's interesting here that you start with the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. Because, the Nine of Cups is a lot of happiness. It can also represent a wish being fulfilled. You being extremely happy that something has finally happened for you. But I definitely kind of see like an obstacle here with the Five of Swords, because it does represent kind of negative energy. To me, the Five of Swords is like the devil. It can represent perhaps someone who's making very bad decisions, someone who's sabotaging a relationship or a marriage. I feel because you have the Nine of Cups here, that some of you could be seeing a big change in like a really destructive relationship. That's just what I get from the Four of Swords, Five of Swords, all leading to the Nine of Cups. It's like you're going from like chaos to like a fairy tale here. Because the Four of Swords, this could be also be someone who asked you for a timeout. This could be someone that maybe temporarily left a relationship, told you they needed time, they needed space away from you, they needed time to think. Maybe a relationship like needed, some space to heal. And again, there could have been someone who just made a really bad decision. It could be someone who sabotaged their marriage without thinking, or a relationship. This is just kind of destructive behavior, negative energy. But there is a lot of happiness waiting for you here. It's like you're going from chaos to a fairy tale. Now, in the second row, we've got the Strength card, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. So there is a lot of positive change for you in the month of January. For those who are single, there can definitely be somebody new coming in to offer you a relationship. There are chances for a relationship for the sign of Virgo. But even if you're already coupled, like I said, there can be a lot of positive changes here with this Knight. This is a lot of change and movement. And it is opportunities in relationships, even if you're already coupled, because it's positive changes. I do feel like if you're already coupled, that you have to be very much invested into the relationship. Look at the cards around it. Strength, which can also represent the sign of Leo. And then the Eight of Pentacles. That's a lot of work around positive changes here with the Knight of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles is really investing a lot of time and effort, working hard to build up a relationship. Because I do feel like, again, you can go from a lot of kind of negative energy, destructive behavior, maybe even a relationship where there's a lot of negativity, to like everything is perfect. And you never thought that you would be this happy again. And then you do have the Strength card, which is telling you that you're really going to have to have the guts, basically, to move forward. If you want this Knight of Cups energy, if you really want to see those positive changes in your relationship, you're going to have to be brave. You're also going to have to kind of hold back a little bit, because this can also represent your ego, kind of buttons being pushed, especially if you're in a relationship with someone, just keeps messing up, keeps making the same mistakes over and over. But I do feel like that can change in the month of January. Now down here, let's see what you've got. You've got the Eight of Wands, the Tower, and the Two of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, this is like excitement. This is fireworks. Especially because you have it with the Tower. So both of these cards represent very unexpected things happening. So there can definitely be kind of unexpected relationships happening, meeting, kind of unexpected partners, even if you're already coupled. Because I do feel like someone has been sabotaging a relationship. Some of you could be unexpectedly meeting someone new. But I also feel like there can be an unexpected change. Let me just show you what I'm looking at here. There can be a very unexpected change around a relationship or a person who has been putting you on hold, because you do have the Two of Wands down here. Someone maybe who has been asking you for some time. That is the very first card that I pulled for you. See right there, Four of Swords. Someone who has been telling you, I need time, I need space, I don't know. Someone who has been putting maybe commitment on hold. It's like there's a sudden kind of breakthrough here with the Eight of Wands and the Tower, because they both represent, you know, like a breakthrough. Suddenly everything changes very quickly. And with the Eight of Wands, if you've been waiting to hear from someone in the month of January, this does represent communication that surprises you. Unexpected communication with someone, perhaps someone from the past or even somebody new. And for some of you, because the main energy was the Queen of Cups, this can be with someone who is a water sign, again, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But the King and the Queen of Cups also represent someone who's very much in touch with their emotions and their intuition. So it can be suddenly, you know, someone realizing here, someone who had been putting you on hold, keeping a relationship on hold or commitment, suddenly realizing how they truly feel about you with this Queen of Cups. Okay, let's get a few more cards to see what else comes up for the sign of Virgo. What other messages are there for Virgo about their love life for January 2020? You've got Justice, the Magician, the Five of Wands. Wow. Okay, so if someone has done you wrong, let me just start there. If someone has done you wrong, because you do have the Justice card, which can represent the sign of Libra, but this just means that something has been very unfair to the sign of Virgo. Perhaps, you know, someone kept you waiting. Here, you've got the Two of Wands. Someone kept you waiting, put you on the back burner for no reason. Or, I mean, you have the Five of Swords right here. Someone made very bad decisions to sabotage your relationship or your marriage. Very destructive behavior, destructive thoughts, actions. There can be an apology here. There can be an apology. Someone trying to make things up to you. But you also have the Magician, which is interesting. Because it could be that the sign of Virgo, like, you need to say something. Like, if you don't see any changes, if you're with someone where they constantly mess up, I mean, Four and Five of Swords, constantly mess up, and there's a lot of thinking, and, you know, putting you off, dragging their feet, cold feet, all those things. You're being told here to step up and do something, because this is time in the month of January for you to get what you truly deserve, which is the Justice card. And someone is feeling very conflicted here. The Five of Wands. Someone is very conflicted. Now you have two fives. Five of Swords over there. Five of Wands here. The fives represent an obstacle, a problem, or challenge. So I feel like the sign of Virgo, like, you have to do something here. Like, with the Magician and the Justice card, the only way for you to have justice or get what you deserve is, like, you have to take back your power. You have to take control. You can manifest positive changes in your love life, but I feel like you can't keep letting somebody get away with murder with that Five of Swords energy. Okay, let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. Let's see what else comes up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for January 2020? Got the Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Devil. What's the most important thing that Virgo needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? You've got the Three of Cups. So this is happiness. This is a lot of happiness, celebration. So this ties in with the Nine of Cups there. Very similar energy of just being extremely happy, good times. So this also is telling you that if you're in a very dark place or a negative place, I mean, you've got the Devil now, you can still be happy. You have the power to change this. You have the Magician. There's something that you can do. This also just came up for the sign of Gemini, which I just uploaded. So if you have a moon or rising in Gemini, or your partner is a Gemini, you might want to watch that, 'cause similar energy. Okay, so let's take a look at these three cards. I mean, it's pretty simple here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Devil. It's like there is a relationship there with the Ten of Pentacles. There is a relationship. There is commitment. Or there's the possibility for those of you where maybe you're not quite there yet. It's like literally here. But there is a lot of confusing energy around it with the Seven of Cups. There's a lot of confusing energy. Someone's just kind of lost when it comes to maybe how they truly feel about you. And I feel like, you know, you can be extremely happy. I mean, you have the Nine of Cups. The main energy from the confirmation deck was the Three of Cups. That's a lot of happiness, but this is not a lot of happiness. This is, again, destructive behavior, negative energy, someone who's constantly messing up, making bad decisions. And then we add the devil to all of this. This can represent the sign of Capricorn, but more than likely it's just possibly a toxic relationship, negative behavior patterns, negative thoughts, someone who's in a dark place. Perhaps your love life or your relationship or marriage is in a dark place. Just know that there is a lot of confusion with the Seven of Cups, a lack of clarity. Someone may not understand that what they're doing to a relationship or marriage is really hurting you. With the Five of Swords, there is a chance here in the month of January for you to have what you deserve, or you to get what you deserve from the person that you love with justice. It's your time to finally get what you deserve. But with the Magician being here, this is like you have to take back your power. Like there is something that you can do. You have to take control of your love life, because you may not be seeing eye to eye with the person that you love with the Five of Wands. It could be that you just want very different things. Or perhaps, someone is feeling conflicted about committing to you. Let me get a confirmation card for the Seven of Cups. And let's see what this means for you. What does the Seven of Cups mean for the sign of Virgo as far as the person that they love for January 2020? So the Page of Wands, this is excitement and this is adventure. It can be maybe, because this is a very lighthearted energy. This is not like the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is like commitment, stability, perhaps even marriage. It could be that this person maybe is highly confused about maybe going to the next level. Like I said, the Page of Wands is very lighthearted energy, just fun, excitement, a lot like the Three of Cups, which is kind of a socializing energy of, going out, having a good time, a lot of happiness. Not that it's a negative energy, but if you're looking for something more committed or long-term, this person could be highly confused about maybe moving towards commitment and stability. They more kind of stay in this energy of the Page of Wands where they want to keep things kind of light. And again, there could be some kind of pessimism there about relationships, or maybe about their feelings for you with the Devil. Let me get a confirmation card also. Let me move down here for the Five of Wands. Why has the Five of Wands come up for the sign of Virgo for January? Fear. So we've got the Nine of Wands. You might be dealing with someone who's just very kind of paranoid, maybe about moving forward, or just kind of paranoid about your relationship. This is someone who's just trying to be very protective and on guard. So you might be kind of thinking this person doesn't care, this person doesn't love me, this person is putting me on the back burner. But they might be feeling conflicted about kind of moving forward in a relationship, or maybe kind of losing themselves. Let's go ahead and move on to the X-spread. Okay, Virgo, let's go ahead and see what is going on between you and your ex in the month of January. Virgo and their ex for January 2020. You have the Fool. Virgo and their ex for January 2020. The Hierophant. Virgo and their ex for January. Three of Wands. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. Death. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. Four of Cups. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. The Hangman. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. Eight of Pentacles. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. Four of Pentacles. Virgo and their ex for the month of January. King of Wands. Let me get a confirmation card because I'm already trying to see what this represents. Why has the Four of Cups come up for Virgo and their ex for the month of January? Okay, interesting. Two of Wands, which you also had in the first spread towards the bottom. Let's go ahead and start at the top. So you have the Fool, the Hierophant, and the Three of Wands. And remember, you do have now the Two and the Three of Wands in this reading, because I got the Two of Wands as confirmation for the Four of Cups. So again, we're looking at an X spread here. You and someone who are no longer together, you parted ways, you are no longer in a relationship. So basically, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Again, I'm focusing on an X, and we start with a new beginning here, the Fool. The Fool is telling you that there is an opportunity for you and your ex to work things out. I do feel like there's waiting involved, because like I said, you have the Three of Wands, which does represent, waiting. There is a perfect time for all of this to fall into place. There is a perfect timing for your ex to return. But there is, again, a strong message of waiting. The Two of Wands also represents delays, waiting, and the same message with the Three of Wands. You also have the Hierophant, which represents the sign of Taurus. But this also means that there's a strong kind of soulmate connection, kindred spirit connection. Also represents just really really feeling like this is a person I belong with. Perhaps you really need to see this, but more than likely it's your ex that really needs to like feel that connection. Perhaps you need to wait for this person to really maybe see their feelings for you. Remember, the main energy from the first spread that I did was the Queen of Cups. So it can be that your ex needs to be the Queen of Cups, someone who's in touch with their emotions, their intuition. That's the only way that there's going to be a new beginning. The Fool does represent taking a giant risk in a new beginning because you're trusting your heart and your intuition. And that's only something the Queen of Cups can do. So there is a new beginning here for you and for your ex, but there is waiting for everything to fall into place. That soulmate connection is still there. Now, if you look at this next row, this is why I wanted to pull a confirmation card, because for me, the Four of Cups represents someone who does not care, but not when I pulled this as confirmation. I feel like, there is unhappy energy around your ex here with the Four of Cups. This is just someone who feels kind of empty and unfulfilled. Someone who is just not really kind of emotionally doing well right now. Also, they have the Hangman on one side and Death on the other. The Hangman means that, your relationship is kind of in limbo now and stuck because maybe there is just too much kind of unhappiness with the Four of Cups. Your relationship is not over. It's just on hold. Again, the Two of Wands. This is just kind of a delay. There's a delay maybe around communication. There's a delay around a new beginning. There's just a lot of unhappy energy around your ex. Everything's in limbo. But you do have a huge change here with Death. A very kind of dramatic ending, but also a dramatic new beginning. A transformation. But you have to wait maybe for your ex to kind of be in a better place emotionally. They seem kind of like they're putting you, or possibly their love life here, on hold for now. Because they seem to kind of be struggling emotionally. They're kind of in limbo. Maybe they don't know if they want you back yet. Now, if you look at this bottom row, we've got a fire sign here. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It can also be you if you have a moon or rising in a fire sign. There is a lot of work to do here, maybe to get things back on track, to rebuild your relationship, to try again. I do see that somebody's holding back here. We have the Four of Pentacles, considering that, you have the Four of Cups here, and then the Two of Wands is confirmation. I feel like they may not be ready maybe to apologize. Remember, you had Justice in the first spread. You had Justice, but you also had the Magician, which means that you can manifest a new beginning with your ex. But the Four of Pentacles is someone who's not budging. This is someone who is refusing to change. This is someone who wants to keep everything as it is. So again, this is leaving you and a reunion with your ex in limbo, stuck. There's a delay around this. Not that it's over, but there is a delay. Okay, let me get a few more. Virgo and their ex for January 2020. Yeah, look at this. A Two of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Six of Swords. There's definitely a lot of thinking going on. All these swords cards. Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, Six of Swords. It represents the mind. There's a lot going on in your ex's head here. And the Two of Swords means that there is something really tricky and complicated about getting back together with you. Like, it may not be just as simple as, yeah, let's, I still care, let's try again. There's something very complicated. This is something maybe that they're avoiding looking at. Again, all these swords cards. Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, Six of Swords. Maybe there's another person involved. Maybe there's a marriage, or maybe there's something kind of, where they have to choose. The Two of Swords can also be a decision. Again, a very complicated decision. But the Knight of Swords is telling you that things can change very quickly for you. It could be that right now, there's no communication. It seems like they're putting you on hold. I do feel like they're doing a lot of thinking about you. But the Knight of Swords is saying this is like the Tower. Everything can change very unexpectedly. You also have the Six of Swords, which means that when there is a movement, when there finally is a change between you and your ex, there would be a healthy change. Because I'm pretty sure that you had the Devil in the first spread. You had the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Devil came up from the confirmation deck. So if you do get back together, you won't have that kind of energy of kind of destructive behavior, the negative energy from both of those cards. There's something healthy here, a healthy change, leaving a difficult time behind you. Okay, let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. Okay, what other messages are there for the sign of Virgo about their ex for January 2020? Six of Wands, Four of Swords. You did have this also in the first spread. And the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is telling you to trust. So kind of interesting that she's here lined up with the Fool, because the Fool is, again, trusting your heart and your intuition. Do you feel like your ex is going to return? Do you feel like your ex still cares? I feel like they still care. It's just there's a lot of unhappiness here. Someone who's just kind of, kind of a pity party, and they're putting you on hold here. It could be that they messed up, but they're still feeling sorry for themselves, putting you on hold. You're being told here, trust your intuition around this person. Again, I told you there is a lot of thinking. On the other side, you got the 4 of Swords here. On the other side, you've got the 2 of Swords, Knight of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. That's a lot of thinking. This person may need some time. They definitely need some time to themselves to figure things out, to figure out how they truly feel about you. But you do have the 6 of Wands, which is victory. Getting past the obstacles that maybe tore you apart. But again, they need time to think, to figure things out. You can't really kind of push this person. That is why you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands here. There is a delay. Some type of difficult decision maybe that they need to make. It could also be that they're avoiding, maybe looking at their own behavior patterns. Again, because you had the 4 and 5 of Swords in the first spread. It's like maybe there's a history of making bad decisions, sabotage. But underneath the High Priestess, you do have Death, which is a huge change, a huge transformation in the relationship with your ex. Since you had the 6 of Swords, I feel like you could have something much better. Like if you get back together, it's not going to be the same issues, the same problems. This will be a much healthier relationship. Okay, Virgo, this has been your love reading for January 2020. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.